Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So lately I've been watching a lot of Caleb Hammer because what he does, he has this thing, it's called the financial audit, where he finds somebody who's really screwing up and he goes line by line on their bank statements and absolutely rips them to shreds. It's like he questions everything they've ever known, everything they've ever spent money on, and makes them rethink their entire life. And this video really stands out because it's titled 33-year-old with more debt than anyone should ever have. So we gotta find out exactly how much debt this person has as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, because we're closing in on 1 million subscribers. And also big thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video, but more on that later.
My name's Candace Thomas, 33 years old. I'm from Temple, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do for a living in Temple, Texas?
I am a product photographer.
Now, she is brave for coming on here. Here's the thing, Caleb is not nice. Like, when you go to a financial audit with Caleb, he just reams into you. It's the tough love sort of aspect where you almost feel bad for him, but then again, they gotta get their life on track, and Caleb is like pushing them in that direction. But it is brutal. Like, sometimes I'm just like behind the screen, just like, oh man, he really said that. But they needed to hear it.
$4,000 a month before taxes. Does that sound about right to you?
I have it on a spreadsheet, but like I don't total it up.
But do you know how much money comes in on a monthly basis?
Yeah, roughly like 3,000 after taxes.
It's bad. It's bad already. If you don't know how much money you make. Now, I have a feeling for her, it's like the hours are probably varying a little bit, and it could be anywhere from like $3,000 in her account to $4,000, but still, at this point, you gotta check it. You should know at least down to like a few $100s, like at least within like $300, how much money is going into your account on the average month. And she should say, oh, it's anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, whatever it might be. But it's really important. Otherwise, you have no idea what you should budget or how much you should spend. And that's where the problem begins.
Now, what improved from a year ago?
I bought a house and I had to get on like a strict budget. So
Okay.
It definitely got me in like the motions of like getting on track.
So here's the thing though, just her buying a house to begin with means she's doing something right. Unless of course she put 3% down on an FHA loan with, mortgage insurance, in which case it could get pretty expensive. But at least it means every single month she's putting some money aside, she's building equity in something that hopefully is gonna do well over 30 years. And I have a feeling if she bought a year ago, she's probably doing all right. That means she probably got a good interest rate before interest rates went up. So I'm guessing she's sitting around 3.5%. We're about to find out though.
Being in a mortgage, and depending on the situation, is either better or worse. In this case, better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
I'm glad I don't have to throw away money on rent anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
But you know what? A lot of people say that, but renting would have been a lot cheaper. There are so many markets right now in the United States where renting is cheaper than buying. I bet if you began to add up all of the costs associated with buying and owning a property, renting makes sense in more occasions than not right now. I know that sounds hard to believe, but just look at the numbers. Housing prices are really high. Maintenance, property taxes, insurance, they're all at all-time highs. Repairs are also all-time highs. Renting, you don't have to deal with a single thing besides paying the rent.
Under $1,000 in a checking account is still kind of scary.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you think it is under $1,000? Especially if you know that's scary.
I mean, I keep track of everything. I've been very meticulous with my spreadsheets and stuff.
So maybe you keep track of everything, but maybe your categories are just, you're not doing it right.
Right, probably.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If she has one home repair, all of that money's wiped in like instant. If anything goes wrong with her house, it's gone. That's a very scary place to be.
All the X's represent non-necessities. X's, 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 X's. X's all throughout. These are essentially eating out or just BS spending. X's.
What? Oh my gosh, look at her Apple bill. Oh, wow. She's spending so much money. How? And all of those things add up. I bet she's like, oh, $2 here, $2 there. But when you do it 100 times, oh my gosh, every day there are multiple Apple charges. How does she do that? Wow. And some of these are like $9. What is she spending?
And lots of these Apple bills and BJ's a restaurant and Starbucks and Moonshine Patio and Denny's and Spotify and Shipley's and Apple and Mexican Grill, Apple, McDonald's, Bath & Body Works, Apple, Bath & Body Works, Sonic Drive-Thru, Apple.
Wow, it's too much. You know what? I bet she'd be able to save probably $1,500 a month just by cutting out some of it. Not even all of it, just a little bit of it. Man, and paying off the debt. That's where it is.
What are they?
They're usually like games that I play.
Dude!
Yeah, I know.
Whoa. So, no, like the gem game and stuff like that, you're just dropping like hundreds of dollars on a monthly basis?
Games. Oh, gosh. She's the one who's buying all these like bonus things. And, oh, get more coins. Just $9.99. How? Oh my gosh. You know what the crazy thing is? It would be cheaper for her to get a PlayStation 5 and just get like 3 good games on it. Just play those. But you know what? I have a feeling she's bored at work and she's just on her phone a lot. So it's like she wants something to take her around. Why not just go on TikTok at that point? Just burn a lot of time. Something that's free. YouTube. Get YouTube and watch YouTube videos. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, and then we had an affirmed payment as well.
Yeah. It's probably Christmas stuff. Like, is this
Why are you financing everything though?
It's when you break down the payments, it seems easier.
Financing Christmas stuff. Come on. That's bad. Listen, if you can't afford Christmas, you can't afford Christmas. The people will understand if it's like, hey, I don't have the budget to buy you something expensive, so I made you something instead. It's the thought that counts. It's like, hey, I'm spending my time with you today. I don't have money, but here I am. I'm present. We're going to have a great day together. I am the present today. Don't finance Christmas stuff.
Money just flew out. And all the necessity section are pretty much nothing. You're just paying off cards and stuff. You spent so much money. You spent about $1,700 of the $3,000 you bring home on food and Apple games. You know that, correct?
I do now.
Oh my gosh. She's spending 50% of her income eating out on video games. So the good news, though, is that makes it very easy for her to save money by not changing anything except eat at home and don't spend money on video games. That's it. So she could actually be doing very well without having to increase her income or do anything too drastic. Just do that.
You said you track everything.
Well, I do. It's just, it's not under control. I just kind of put it in a spreadsheet.
Okay. Well, no, I'm trying to get a hold of like where you're at so we can approach this in the right way.
Okay.
All right, so it's become apparent that she's spending too much money on practically everything. But as a creator myself, I know how important it is not to overpay on certain subscription services. And that's why I'm very proud to announce today's sponsor, Epidemic Sound. They're a fantastic tool for video creators to soundtrack their content without worrying about takedowns or copyright strikes, all for an extremely affordable price. For instance, Epidemic Sound is a huge library of over 35,000 tracks and 90,000 sound effects, with new tracks being added every single week. Plus, sorting through their music is really easy. Just select the mood that you're going for, sort by the length of time that you want the music to play, or go for some really cool sound effects, like check this out. They also have a personal plan that's ideal for content creators since it covers most platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and more. Or they also have a commercial plan that's perfect for freelancers, businesses, or agencies looking to soundtrack their content. This allows you to find the perfect background music to match the mood of your video without worrying about it getting copyright struck or flagged for unlicensed usage. So if you're interested, click the link down below in the description to get started with a free 30-day trial. Again, it's totally free and you've got nothing to lose. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy, and now let's get back to the video.
Balance of $11. What's the purpose of this checking account?
$100 each check goes automatically into this account. So I was trying to save money that way because I don't normally use that account.
Trying to save money, but then we take out $180 from the at an ATM, and who knows where that goes.
Oh, there's zero self-control on that, though. If she's setting up an account meant to be an emergency fund for savings, and then she just pulls the money out and spends it, what's the point of that? At this point, she needs, you know what would do really well? Like, I'm talking really well. A bank account where it's password protected and you can't get out the money unless you call up somebody else on the phone and have somebody else approve that purchase or something like that. It's basically like a custody account where you can't touch it. Like, it would prevent spenders like this from ever touching the money. Like, she would actually have to get on the phone with somebody and be like, hey, I need to spend money on this, and they would have to approve it. And if they say, nope, sorry, not a good enough reason, the money stays in the account. Something like that would be amazing to do, just like as an extra barrier to be able to spend.
The 401k, 7,000, and I'll be honest, that is very behind for 33 to be on track for retirement.
That's why I want to know what I need after I clear up my debts and stuff.
Well, I mean, I think that's a big if.
Yeah.
2/3 of your money just went to eating food and buying gems.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The thing that sucks is that she's spending half of her income on gems and eating out when she could have been contributing to the 401k and letting that money grow and investing it. But she's not. I don't get it. It's so easy for her just to invest. She could be in a great spot financially if she just cuts it out.
Care credit.
It's for my dogs.
Yeah, but why credit card though for that?
Well, there's no interest.
Okay.
And
Because you are holding a balance. I was wondering if you're paying it off every month or if you...
yeah, you have
0% interest for how long?
A year.
And when does the year end?
June.
Okay, that'll come quicker than you know.
Yeah, pay that off. I guarantee. Here's what happens with a lot of these. There's 0% interest as long as you pay off the balance in full before the introductory period. Then if you don't do that, they tack on all the back interest that you weren't paying back then, and they bam, all at once 1 year later. So you have to read the fine print on a lot of them because they will do that. You have to pay it off in full by the end of that year.
If we just built up this credit card debt that we couldn't pay off because we are spending all of our money on food and gems, then what are we doing where we have to transfer it? And now after we transfer it, we're making additional purchases. Why?
Ah, man. So basically what she did, she maxed out a credit card, then got another credit card, did a balance transfer, probably for no interest, and then she's charged more money on the first credit card because now it was available again. So she basically just got another credit card to be able to spend more money on gems. So don't do that. It's bad.
I used to get stressed out or anxious in my life, and then I would just stress shop.
Do you see a therapist?
I do.
Good. Is that helping at all? Have you talked about this issue specifically?
Oh yes. Every time we talk about my financial woes.
Yeah, it's not working though. Come on, it's just you can't just talk about it. You gotta actually make a difference. You actually she needs someone in her life to step in and be like, no, you cannot do that. Stop. No. Take all the credit cards away. Cancel whatever Apple Pay subscription she has. Cancel it all. Throw the phone away. She's got a Nokia now. Start with that. No games on the phone. She could use the phone to make phone calls, and that's it. And then she could go home, eat at home, and do free entertainment at home. If she just did that for a year, she could pay off all the debt. That's it.
You had a previous balance of 275, and then 3,455 came in. Was that the transfer or was that new purchases?
That was the transfer.
Thank
I don't make any purchases on this card. This is specifically my balance transfer card because that other balance was from another card.
Why is your balance transfer card a card where interest is being accrued?
Oh man, you know what? Here's the thing with balance transfers. You're supposed to balance transfer to a card with no interest for a year to 18 months. You never balance transfer to another card with interest. It makes no sense because you pay a 3% balance transfer fee. So you pay the 3% to save 20%. That makes sense. But you don't pay 3% to balance transfer to another card so you could spend more money on the first card.
135. And then as far as the down payment and stuff, I think we put 10% down.
We?
Oh, my father and I.
He gifted you.
Yeah, I put in about $5,000 and he put in 10.
Okay, that explains it. I was wondering, how's she coming up with the money to buy a house when she's spending it all? But okay, that makes sense. She's able to save 5 and going with her father on that.
What is the car?
It's a 2011 Dodge Avenger. I would eventually like to upgrade to something, but I know I have a lot of stuff to do.
We're not even in the conversation of upgrade.
Yeah, she does not need a new car. Here's the thing. The cheapest car is the one you already have, okay? You can't escape maintenance. Maintenance is going to follow you from one car to another, to another, to another.
A couple months ago, I started having a lot of heart problems. So I keep having to go to these specialists, and they're $80 copays all the time, and they want to run all these tests and stuff.
Well, I think eating healthy.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I know, right?
I mean, I need to do it too. I have a solid 20 to 30 pounds I need to lose.
Yeah.
Caleb, you know what? We got to put you on the Jack Selby exercise plan. He was helping Alex lose some weight, and I think that would be a fun collaboration between you and Jack. Just losing 20 pounds. Treat it the same way like you treat finances. It's just like, oh, you got to do it. What are you eating? Why aren't you exercising for an hour? Just like apply the same mentality there. I'm curious. I think we could do it.
Bank of America, $546. Best Buy, $1,905. Your credit union, $8,721. Student loan, $73,177.
What? $73,000 in student loans to make 40 grand a year? How on earth? Who approved that? So stupid. Why? It blows my mind that someone could be 18 years old, have no idea what they want to do in their life. No clue. And someone's like, yeah, here's 100 grand of debt. Go figure it out. And they spend decades trying to pay that off. Why? That is irresponsible to me that someone even allowed that to happen. It's silly to me. I just don't get it. $73,000, you better be making $100,000 a year to justify that, not 40.
The only way out of this is that you spend $300 on groceries. The most quick, basic math on this $100,000 of bad debt. 200 months or 16 years, 16 and a half years.
That's horrible, but that's not even including the interest, which is going to make that balance way higher. It's going to take her longer than 16 years at this current pace. 16 years to pay off that debt. Oh my gosh. And that's living off $300 a month in groceries and not doing anything for 16 years. How? Ugh.
You have to double your hours.
So I have been trying to do like my own photography stuff.
Okay. I love that. I support that. Probably not realistic right now, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
In terms of getting off the ground, do as much as you can that brings some money. Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But in terms of time and effort that we're putting towards it, the disaster of this nuclear bomb that is your money needs to take priority.
Yeah, you know, she's got to do that. And you know what? The busier she is, the less time she's going to have to spend money. That's one of the best things about working so much is that you don't have time to spend it. You could just save it all. And it's fantastic because then you could spend it later.
There's a part of me that there's a big part of me that just feels bad because I know this is going to be so hard. But if you bring in an extra $1,000 a month after taxes, then you have $1,500 a month.
See, here's where this gets interesting. Imagine she rents out a bedroom and that makes $700 a month. Then imagine if she's already saving $500 a month, that brings us to $1,200 a month. Then imagine she makes an extra $1,000 a month working a few extra nights a week. That gets you all of a sudden to $2,200 a month in savings, and she could pay off this debt in really like 3 years. And have it totally wiped out. Just 3 years of doing that. But you see where this compounds. It's like one thing by itself isn't going to make that big of a difference, but you start, putting one on top of another on top of another. She could get this down dramatically.
When these minimum monthly payments are gone and you're still going crazy, and only at that point then, 4.5 years from now, can you go out to eat again. Yes, that is right. You don't get to go once for 4.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You might need to double up your therapy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. She'll find enjoyment in other things. Just give it a month. She'll love cooking at home. She'll get really good at it. She can make some fantastic meals for a fraction of the price. They're probably better than what she could spend at a restaurant. And they're fresh. They're made right there.
I know that I can't be eating out anymore. Like, that's something I know I can't do anymore. Yeah, just a lot of grocery shopping. Save as much money. Eat a lot of ramen, like I have been doing.
Careful. We should still try to be healthy, though.
Yeah.
You can do healthy on this. We can do an example grocery shopping trip to prove it.
You know what? Doing a grocery shopping spree would be fantastic. Caleb, I would watch that. I would watch you go to the grocery store and just buy groceries. You would make more money from that video than you would spend on the groceries. Just do that. How to budget on $100 and get food for like 2 weeks or something like that. Just come up with a number of $100. See how far that'll go. I would watch that. I would love that.
I'm basically lying in the bed that I made with all of my debts, and I got to take care of it. So it's time that I got to make some sacrifices. It's not going to be pretty, but it's what I got to do.
Wise words. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to add me on Instagram, and don't forget that you can get a free stock with our sponsor, Public.com, down below in the description with the code GRAHAM when you make a deposit, because that could be worth all the way up to $1,000. Enjoy. Thank you so much, and until next time.